I'll give that to the Na'vi. It looks like they're getting the vitamins and minerals their bodies need. That's right, which brings me to the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Groons, a comprehensive daily gummy that comes in individual packs of 8 gummies, giving you a healthy allotment of your daily vitamins and minerals, promoting brain and gut health. Groons contains 100% of your daily needs for safe vitamins and 25% of your daily needs for certain minerals you're actually not supposed to have in excess of. You ever see that? Some products are like 500% of your daily allotment. You're like, is that okay? Is it healthy? Am I just supposed to swallow 20% of this thing? I appreciate that Groons puts in the care for your health on a product that's supposed to support health. And my favorite part, whereas other healthy products you gotta choke down for the greater good, Groons on the other hand is actually tasty. A vitamin posing as a snack that you can sneak into the movie theater. So click the link below or scan the QR code to get yourself up to 52% off your Groons order. Get your daily vitamins and minerals in a fun, tasty package. And thank you once again to Groons for sponsoring this video. I do appreciate it. And now part 3 of James Cameron's CGI extravaganza saga comes out this Friday. Gonna be attached to an Avengers Doomsday trailer, I hear, so let's talk about it. So Avatar Fire and Ash is part 3 of James Cameron's Avatar saga. We once again follow the family of Sullys as the humans are trying to make their push to take over Pandora. But there's something that happens that gives the humans an opportunity through possible reverse engineering of breathing on Pandora without any masks. Humans being able to breathe on Pandora would definitely take away a handicap that is holding them back from just sweeping the place entirely. All right, so we have a new Avatar movie. This movie once again stars Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, and I gotta give the stars praise in this video. The stars being everyone who worked on the CGI for this film. Stars, heroes, the lot of them. This film looks incredible. Avatar always has. Whenever an Avatar movie has come to theaters, it's always been head and shoulders above anything that's come to theaters before it. And whereas I believe James Cameron is rolling with the same tech for Fire and Ash as he was with Way of Water, maybe it's the Dolby Vision 3D, high frame rate, whatever. But watching Fire and Ash, I was like, this looks much better than Way of Water does on Disney+. I mean, this movie's about as live action as any Disney live action remake of a Disney animated classic that both of which are about as real. Thing is, James Cameron commits to the point where you go, yeah, live action. Absolutely. There are moments in this movie where you're seeing the water, you know, it's the shallow water brushing up against rocks and you see the foam that you're like, nothing's real. You don't think of it at the time. You think of it on the drive home and you're like, nothing I fucking saw existed in the real world. I mean, there are live action actors in these movies, but for the most part, for the rest of the 99% of the film, nothing on screen exists in the corporeal world that I roll in. It's absolutely incredible. The action sequences as well. That's right, I'm talking about the best parts of the movie, involving CGI and action sequences. CGI action sequences, I mean, they're commonplace at this point, a dime a dozen in any given blockbuster film. I just see James Cameron Avatar movies as that bar where he goes, this is where we should be right now. And I felt like after the first Avatar movie, other movies had a level of realism to aim for. Then there are other movies where the studio just goes, fuck it, that's good enough. To be fair, there's a whole conversation about overworked, underpaid CGI departments and employees that don't have the time or resources to get the job done. But it's refreshing to see James Cameron in an Avatar film show the world, hey, technologically, this is actually where we're supposed to be at. But when it comes right down to it, when the big throwdown's going down and it's people and Na'vi fighting with animals getting involved, like Way of Water did, like the first Avatar movie did, it's absolute spectacle. What can I say? It's a blast. That said, the movie's kind of ridiculous too. There's something that happens in the movie with Spider. I buy one of the things. I do not buy the other. It's completely ridiculous. I think it's in the trailer. Hold on. Yep, okay, it's in the trailer. So, Spider, something happens to him. Awa grants him the ability to breathe the air of Pandora. That does lead to some emotional moments. One in particular, I thought it was the best scene in the film. Some moral dilemmas going down, but I feel like James Cameron is erasing that which made Spider more compelling. I mean, at the very least, more interesting, you know? He's this human being who needs a mask to breathe on Pandora The only family he's really known have been the Sullys. He has his Na'vi family, but he has constant reminders. The fact that he can't connect with Awa, he can't do the thing, take a braid, link with the animals, or any of the spirit trees. The fact that he always has the mask, that he has these constant reminders that remind him he is the alien. And for some reason, James Cameron's like, yeah, but let's melt all that stuff away and just make him feel more basic per Pandora. Not only did I not buy it, it just came across as silly. I can feel the tapping of keyboards right now, people going, yeah, that's kind of Avatar. I never saw them as silly though. I saw them as human stories being told through aliens. A human being altered by some sort of biological reaction per Awa's design, I can buy it. Him getting the thing in the back of his head that allows him to link with animals and spirit trees, that's a step too far for me, I guess. Tell you what, the most interesting part of this film are the fire Na'vi. We've seen spiritual Na'vi in the forest. We've seen spiritual Na'vi with the ocean. We have not seen heathen Na'vi who have walked away from Awa. That's interesting to me. You actually see it in their character. They don't have that balance of life on Pandora, that need to live up to Awa. They don't have that spiritual sense of zen that the other Na'vi have shown. No, they're more feral, more brutal. They're savage. You see that with their fighting technique. Their story is so interesting. However, in this movie, they're kind of used as wild cards. I get that the humans would use those Na'vi as wild cards. I just wish we got more with them, because the most interesting part of this story is Quaritch making friends with the fire Na'vi. All right, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna be real. That fire Na'vi chick is too fine. Oh, she's not even the same species. What, you didn't romance Tali Zoravas Normandy in Mass Effect 2 or 3? No? You're lying! And no, that's not the only reason I like the fire Na'vi. I do think they're the most interesting part of the movie. I'm also saying
that was some mean bush.
I do like that Loak, Jake Sully's youngest son, his surviving son, is basically his coming of age story. Bummer is he kind of disappears for a bit of the movie for him to do it. But you know, he's dealing with some stuff. He's becoming his own man, dealing with social anxiety. At least I've heard that's what that gesture means. Also, and to be fair, I do feel the music did step up from Way of Water to Fire and Ash, at least in some moments. And it's gotta be really tough to have your music live in the shadow of James Horner, who made the overall musical theme and tone of Pandora. But Way of Water and Fire and Ash just don't have that musical punch the original had with James Horner's score. Way of Water, the music I could think of, I recognize from the original Avatar. And that's a thing this movie falls into as well. You know how Way of Water borrowed from the first Avatar in moments? Fire and Ash borrows from Way of Water and the original Avatar. Have a little variety in life, man, jeez. There's a big thing he pulls from the first Avatar movie. I was like, that's Avatar 1. It doesn't really mean much now because I've already seen this before. I've seen it done before. The first time in the first Avatar movie, yeah, it was really cool. Fire and Ash would have been a solid time to step it up. But instead, I walked out of Fire and Ash feeling numb to the experience, well, because I've seen the previous two Avatar films. And there were moments in this movie that should have felt bigger, I felt just came across as a bit unceremonious. This was the moment for a solid jaw drop, you know, to have the audience go home like it's Empire Strikes Back, like, where do we go from here? I can't wait to see. Bring on the next movie 15 years from now. But I walked out of the theater with the assurance that Avatar 4 would feel like the same thing over, like 3 did, from 2 to 1. But I suppose this formula makes these Avatar films billions of dollars. Does he break the mold, go in a new direction for the sake of art, or does he do the same play that makes a couple $1 billion per Avatar film? This movie is equal parts visually impressive, but also thematically disappointing. James Cameron's just found a comfortable, familiar routine and formula. He doesn't want to step outside of it. For a movie that is over 3 hours long and has pretty good momentum, James Cameron's really good about that, having a long-ass movie not feel like a long-ass movie. I mean, maybe the movie will make $2 billion. The studio's obviously trying to get it to, because they're gonna make you watch the movie 4 times over to watch the new Avengers Doomsday trailer that comes out each week for 4 weeks. They're gonna try to get you to double dip, no triple dip, no quadruple dip. I mean, I guess that's a way to do it. The internet didn't exist. Bummer is, this is the movie that made me think maybe at this point James Cameron is a two-trick pony. To be fair, those are 2 damn entertaining tricks. But when you're constructing a saga around family, invaders, conflict, revenge, grief, the whole, hey, it's technologically amazing and such a blast of a roller coaster to watch in theaters, ceases to be enough. So yeah, worth watching when it comes out on streaming, which would lose you 90% of the reason to watch Avatar Fire and Ash. But there that is. All right, so Avatar Fire and Ash, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Have you liked the Avatar movies thus far? Have you been like, nope, from the beginning? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.